Yo, hey folks, it's Kevin, Big K Horror here, and I just got back from seeing Insidious Chapter 2, and I'm about to give you my thoughts on it. Now, granted, let me just preface by saying that I probably am going to need to see it one more time to kind of catch and absorb everything, because there's a lot being done in this film. There's a lot of stuff being explained, a lot of stuff being revealed. Now, I'm going to do a quick little review on this. I'm not going to reveal much. But I will say this: I did really like it. Ignore some. If you're a fan of the first Insidious and if you got immersed in the story and you want to know more about the mythology of who the old woman ghost was that was haunting Josh all his life and blah blah blah, you definitely want to check this out, because it has to be seen to be believed. But it's really interesting. And what I really liked about this was that it kind of that Saw, like the franchise of Saw, it did that thing where the sequel will show you things from the original and it adds more to it by explaining some of the things in the original, like, oh, that's what was going on in part one. That kind of thing. Those were some really neat and cool reveals in my book. However, the movie, like, this is how I tried to describe it to my friend when we got out of the movie. It's not as scary and jolting as the first one, in my opinion. However, it is jolting. It is jolting, and it has some good-ass visuals in it. But I would have to say that this one's more about the exposition. So if you are a fan of the first Insidious film, and you want to know more secrets and more of the twists and secrets and mythology behind the further and all that, definitely check this movie out. You will not be disappointed. It also has both some good... I don't want to go into too many spoilers, because the whole thing is about, is the father Josh possessed or not after part one, And they explain that... and this one follows not so much the mother and father of the family, Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson's character so much. It follows Patrick Wilson's character, but you get to know the mother, played by Barbara Hershey, a lot better in this one. You get to know her a lot more. And it was very awesome seeing the flashbacks from 1986 when Josh was a little kid. And his mother, the younger Barbara Hershey character, was played by Jocelyn Donahue, the star of The House of the Devil. That was really cool. They look so much alike. But anyhow, it was really cool seeing some of these people in it. It didn't really have too much humor, in my opinion, like the first one did. And as well as, you don't go see this movie expecting something scary than The Conjuring. And by the way, about The Conjuring, don't go comparing this movie to The Conjuring, because Insidious and The Conjuring are two completely different type of ghost films. Okay, let me just preface that. This is not The Conjuring. Okay, and but this is Insidious, and it sticks to the same guns as the first one did, and you get to know the characters a little bit better. You get to know, like I said, the twists to the first one. There's things in the first one that explain some of the events that happened in the first one, like random things, but not too much, but it's still enough to be like, oh, cool, that explains that, kind of thing. And so if you're a fan of the first Insidious, I'm pretty guaranteed sure that you're going to like this one. Now, if you kind of did not like the first Insidious or were not impressed by it, especially if you hated the other dimension they go into, then you might want to miss this one, because this one does a lot to do with the further. But it has a lot of great creepy visuals. There's one spoiler I want to say, but I don't want to say, and I'm not. But you find out the identity of who the old woman in black is from the first one, and it's pretty interesting, I have to say, and pretty creepy. And as well as, like, the acting is very top notch and on board. The effects are great, the jolts are great and well timed. Now, to me, I think the first one was a little bit more jolting. This one is still jolting, but again, it's more about the exposition, about revealing stuff that you didn't know before. So that's pretty much the gist of Insidious Chapter 2. It literally is just that, Chapter 2. It's like Insidious 1 was the first full chapter, and then now you're going to the second chapter, and it's explaining some of the stuff in the first chapter to kind of catch you up. And so it does kind of leave it open for a sequel, another one. So we'll see if it does that or not. But it was really good. It's not my favorite horror movie of this year, but that is not supposed to mean that it's not any good. It just... I need to see it one more time to absorb everything, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in it. But it was very well worth the time. And like I said, I'm a fan of Insidious Part 1, so this one really was interesting, fun, and again, a lot of like, because it reveals a lot of secrets to the first one. And flashbacks, so it kind of shows some flashbacks, not too many, but some, from part one, and then it explains what was going on. And you're like, oh, wow, I love that. Anyway, but so Insidious wasn't my favorite horror movie this year. Those go actually to The Conjuring, Lords of Salem, Maniac remake, and You're Next. However, it was very well, damn well good, and it was a damn good continuation to the first one. But like I said, if you're a fan of the first one, go check this one out, especially if you want to know more about what everything is, you know, the mythology behind everything. However, if you hated the first one, you may want to avoid this one. You know, it's not going to change anything probably for your mind. Anyway, so the acting was top-notch, the scares were well-timed, it had a lot of great exposition, and explained a lot of stuff and some cool twists. So that's pretty much my summary of Insidious Part 2. And go check it out. You know, especially if you're a fan of the first one. Just don't go in comparing it to The Conjuring. Don't. Okay? Then you will be disappointed. Alright, peace out.